Welcome back. On today's Health Watch, we're talking to our local registered dietitian, Courtney Butts, about something called the health halo effect. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Courtney. Tell us, what is the health halo effect?
It's typically the way that food is marketed. It's maybe perceived by the consumer that it's better than what it actually, maybe that there's less evidence to support that it's better or more healthy. So it has this health halo effect by using different buzzwords that marketers use on the food products.
What are some examples?
Typical buzzwords would be like gluten-free, vegan, reduced refined sugar, reduced fat, sea salt versus table salt, vegan, I think I mentioned that, gluten-free, and different things like that can make the consumer perceive that the food is actually better for you when there's really no evidence to support that that food is better than any other food without that marketing.
Yeah, and that certainly grabs your attention when you're at the store and grocery shopping. So how can we distinguish between the health halo effect and what is actually good for you?
Yeah, so what I typically tell people is that, I don't want to demonize food that has these health halo effects, but I think that the damage here is for people to think that it's actually better than what it really is. So what typically happens is if you see something that's sugar-free, the perception is, oh, this is really good for me, so I can eat as much as I want, and there are a lot of actually GI upset that comes from eating a lot of sugar-free things. So it's not always, it really reinforces the principle of everything in moderation. And if you want to do yourself some good, do some research and turn over that food label and actually look at the nutrition facts label, look at your ingredients list, what are you actually consuming? And what I typically tell my clients to look for is saturated fat, the sodium, how much sodium you're consuming, your fiber intake, and the added sugars. Those are the big things that I educate clients to look for on your label. And then of course working with a dietitian, and we can help you determine what foods to incorporate in your lifestyle and really distinguish between those health halo effects and how they interact with your lifestyle.
That's so important, because I know when I was trying to do the keto diet, I go to the store.
Yeah, that's another one.
Like,
that's actually a good
keto. Let me get this.
Yep.
But then when I did some research, I'm like, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's keto.
Right. Yeah, that's a great example. Yeah, I forget that there is a lot. Keto is a big buzzword because that was a huge diet craze for the last 5 years. Everybody wants to do keto because that's how you lose weight. And another one, the gluten-free one, gluten-free is great for people that have celiac disease or gluten intolerance, absolutely. But gluten-free donut is still a donut. It's still going to have added sugars, and it might not be the best product for you in that moment. But not to say that these foods are bad and that you can't have them in your diet, but just taking one step further and doing your research.
Very good advice. And we'll be right back with more news and weather, so keep it here.